Hi, my name is Tina Parks and welcome to the British Academy of Floral Art. I've just thought we'd be nice to introduce ourselves and do a series of little short live Facebook videos. So this is my first one live, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm just going to plow on anyway. And what I thought it'd be nice to do would be to talk about some different areas, and this time I thought it'd be quite nice to talk about the level 4 and 5 because this is a real area of passion for me. I love this level, of course, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about the modules that we run, and we actually run them as more inspirational modules, so you can just take a single module and just use it for inspiration to relight the passion or relight the pilot light, if you like, in your floristry sort of world. And the idea is just to have a short module course where you can just come, just do that, and it's all practical and you just get to play with flowers, look at design and think about new techniques and new mediums that we're using, and just really have fun really, and be with like-minded individuals, so share it with other people in the group. So we run these on a Monday and Tuesday, and they're at the Academy in Exeter in our lovely new venue, and we only have one more space for the next one, which is starting on the 5th of October, so quite quick, and that is a design unit. And I thought I'd just give you a little flavour of the unit so you can see the sort of thing that we play with and have a little inspiration with. So the units, yes, they run Monday, Tuesday, and they run once a month. So you just do 6 units, 6 lessons effectively for one unit. And it just allows you to pick a subject that you're really interested in and come and play with us. So this unit is based on design development. I think that's really quite a nice one to explore. Where do you get the inspiration for the design? What is it that sets you off? So we look at the source of inspiration that Gregor speaks about, and we look at all the different areas within that. But I thought actually this time it's really fun to get right back to basics and perhaps look at taking the simple things like the principles and elements of design and seeing how they can be really informative to starting design ideas. So generally, when we're thinking about principles and elements of design, we tend to be thinking about what we teach our level 2s, which is all the key things, the basics. At level 2, you tend to use it a little bit like a tick list. So you kind of make your design, and then quite often you use them to go back through the design to see if there's a mistake that you want to correct, or if there's something you want to just enhance and make look a little bit better. So you tend to sort of go through each element and principle and think, oh, is that working? Great, that's brilliant, move on to the next one. And then you can usually find the one that is not quite working and making the design not quite right in your eye. Level 3, we tend to use principles and elements of design a little bit more informatively, so a little bit more in the decision-making process of the design. So obviously we always are very comfortable with looking at colour because we like that, we're very good at that. But we also might choose some of the other elements to help us drive our choices of materials. So we might look at proportion of materials for use, so proportion of colour, proportion of texture, proportion of shape. So you might use something like the 3, 5 and 8, which is really interesting to work with. So you might use it to help drive the design from the start point. But level 4 and 5, you come at it from a totally different perspective because you've got a lot more knowledge there. You've got a lot more understanding of techniques, of design, of mechanics. And so you can come at it much higher level, more of a design level. So looking at, just taking, for example, we're just looking at taking balance as a key driver for this design. Hi Katie, I'm going to give you a wave. And also looking at form, which is so exciting. As soon as you start thinking about materials with form, instantly design starts to come into your head, or interesting materials start to come into your head, like this lovely poppy who's got a really wonky stem. So it's not very, I'll just show you my design in front of me. I'm just going to lift it up so you can see it. So can you see that just on a pin holder there? We just use a basic pin holder. I'll put a nice photo of it on the Facebook so you can see it made. But look at that lovely stem. Isn't he cute? He's got a little wonk there. I like that. So what we're doing is we can find material that has inspirational form, and that can start leading your design then. So if you're looking at form, then naturally what we want to do is give the form space so we can see them. So instantly thinking about something Ikebana style or form linear style works really well with that, because you can use the material in a very limited way so you can see everything and you can have a little nice feel about all the characteristics that you're looking at in the material. So on this design, I've actually put it on a pin holder. So we also do look at things like, we obviously look at mechanics and techniques. So this is a little pin holder here, or a Kenza, and it's really good. It's a really good eco-friendly design base, especially if you're doing something for corporate work where you can get the pin holder back. And we look at sort of the eco value of materials all the time in the courses. It's very important to us. We always are considering what we can do, looking at the new products that are coming in. We've been playing with the Agra wool. So it's really fun to just see how those things work and the value of them. So with this course, obviously we're looking at design, but we're also looking at showing different techniques and mediums and how to use things. So with the pin holder, there's lots of challenges, offers lots of difficult situations, but it's a really, really nice one to use. It's really great for using for flowers that aren't keen on oasis. So they are happier in the pin holders because you just can fill them up with water. So one of the things that is a tricky is if you've got a very fine stem like this one. I'm just going to bring him near to the camera there. See how fine his stem is. Of course, that's going to be no good in the pin holder because it just will want to fall around. So a little trick that we look at is like cutting a stem that's from another flower that's just been chopped off when he's been conditioned. And we can insert the stem into the nice base, push him right down so that he comes out at the bottom so he can drink. And then you can insert the whole thing into the pin holder, and then that's going to hold it exactly where you want it to be in place. So with balance, of course, with the design, we're going to be looking at counterbalancing the pin holders, how we can attach them into the dish, the clever angles to put them on the side of the dish. We're going to think about how we can add water sources that are hidden and discreet in the design. And we're going to look at the construction method of which of the flower material that we choose to go in. So I think it's going to be quite a fun lesson. I think it's going to be really interesting just to explore with a limited selection of flowers to see what's possible with that, and just keep the two key focuses on the design, on the balance of the design, so the visual actual balance. And that's really important with a pin holder, because if you've got heavy flower on one side, you need to counterbalance on the other side, and visually as well, especially when you're using materials that are further out. We're not chopping things down so much in the pin holder, we're using things at their full length. And when we do things like this, so this lovely dendrodion orchid has been used with the counterbalance, with the flowers curving in. Now naturally on a vegetative design, you would naturally want him to curve out because that's the way he grows. So he comes up, he strides up, and then he swings out. But in this design, what we've done is we've challenged that by bringing the curvature of the flower back into the design, which is quite interesting. So you can't really see those so well, but they just are beautiful, and they just curve in very gently back into the design. See the stem on the bottom one really showing that nicely. So it's going to be lots of fun. I think it's going to be a really interesting lesson. I think it should be really interesting to see what we can achieve and see what's possible. So we're not going to just use 1 or 2 pin holders, but we might use a whole 8, 9, 10 pin holders in a design. So we're going to see what's possible with it. So we're going to push the boundaries. And that's the exciting thing, is just to try new things, push the boundaries, and then see what's possible from that could be used in the shop. What can you bring back from that? What skills have you learnt that you can interpret into work that you do in the shop every day? So maybe corporate work, or maybe design work for your window, or little pieces that you could use just for your desk. So it gives lots of different ideas. So the next lesson we are running, the next module will be in January, and that is based on floral couture. So we're going to do everything that you can wear in flowers, and all things inspired by fashion as well. So I think that could really be a really fun one to really let our imaginations run riot with and see what we can create. But I think that is as much as I'm going to do today. But I'm hoping that I'm going to come back on every Wednesday at 3 o'clock and do a little promo, a little something about something that's going on. I'm going to talk about Christmas design next week because I'd like to talk about the trends that are coming up, and we could have a little play with sort of Christmas ideas. So I might show you a few little tips there. So I would love to see you again. Thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the Academy very soon. Thank you very much.